100,000 on a beat.
All right, welcome into the Berkeley Football Coaches Show along with Coach Eric Lodge. I am Lane Walford. Thank you for tuning in. The regular season is in the books, Coach, with a 35-7 win over Cane Bay.
Yeah, I thought we came out of the gates pretty well. Kind of had some low points in the second half where we lulled a little bit on offense, but kudos to Cane Bay. They played tough defense. They really slowed the game down a little bit and limited possessions. But all in all, I thought it was a good night for the Stags.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the highlights from the first half. It was senior night Friday night. Stags graduating 26 players. So hopefully they got a few more games left in them after Friday night.
That's right. Come out here, have a really good play on first down. They start with the football, second and long.
Which is where you want to get their offense.
They come out, they run their triple option to our bench. The quarterback ends up keeping it. Here we end up not doing such a good job scraping over the top from our linebacker, and we're slow to run the alley from the safety. We see it here from the end zone shot. You'll see a little bit better. Out here, we're tucked in a little bit too tight in our alignment out of our linebacker. We'd want to see him out here so that he's able to check the dive and then kind of scrape a little bit more. Our safety, who you can't see off camera, you see just the glimpse of him here, he's got to do a better job of triggering faster. When he sees this wing load up here on our backer, he needs to run the alley a little bit faster, to keep this play from happening the way it's happened here.
Yeah.
And actually, you see the wing, because that linebacker's tucked up where he is, he just kind of releases up to the safety.
So the corner was responsible for the pitch man, but the safety was responsible for the quarterback?
That's right. Our safety, right, he should run down the alley here and take this quarterback. Our front side linebacker, he's checking to make sure this dive gets tackled, and then he should also be scraping for the quarterback. You see him getting pinned in there by their tight end, who's actually an extra O lineman, and then there you go, off to the races.
Yeah. But good pursuit, didn't give up on the play, made the tackle downfield, and that was big.
Yeah, and we've seen this a couple of weeks in a row where they've had, some plays to kind of get down our side of the field, and then they turn the ball over,
Yep.
They put it on the ground. There's 33 Johnny on the spot picking the thing up.
He just keeps doing it week after week.
He's got a nose for the football, man. When you hustle to the ball, good things happen.
So Stags get the ball in midfield with the chance to turn the turnover into some points.
We come out, we have a positive play on first down. We get 1st and 5. Anytime you're getting 5+ on first down, we consider that a win for the offense. Come out here, hand it to LJ Washington. He turns ahead for a gain of about 7-8 yards for a first down.
And LJ, we talk about it, he's had a really good year. I think he's averaging about 65 yards per game. If you didn't have 3 other running backs, he could be averaging 150 yards per game.
Yeah, we try not to get caught too much up into just their individual stats. He's got close to 7 yards a carry this season. We've rushed for over 2,400 yards as an offense. When you're doing that and it's spread out, everybody's going to shine.
Right.
Out here, run a little split zone with Henry Rivers. Their end comes inside and tries to spill our kick-out block. We've got like a little influence going here with an arc block by our front side tight end. You see their end right here, 50. He gets in here a little bit too tight. Henry does a good job of seeing this and bounces it over the top. He knows he's got a lead arc block out here. This is a real hard play for them to defend, and there he goes off to the races. Really good gain here out of him.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much I'd seen that formation, that particular
That's a new one for the week. We think it gives presents defense some problems. We're in empty. We've got 2 tight ends, so we've got almost all of our runs at our disposal, yet we could still throw the ball.
Yep.
Be prepared to see that one more as we head towards playoff time.
So here's JT in the backfield. Another one that could have huge numbers if he had to.
I think he shows really good patience on this run. JT does a good job of kind of like setting this up, getting right behind that guard, and gets right inside that kick-out block and is just a shoelace tackle away from breaking this for a touchdown.
I love to see a running back when he puts his hand on the offensive lineman in front of him. So
when the back is able to do that, you're getting good movement with the O-line, and then also just you see trust and patience there out of him.
Yep.
Just a little outside zone play with Henry Rivers. I'd like to see our right tackle stay on this block a little bit longer, but he does just enough to get a piece of that end, and Henry does a good job of running through an arm tackle. We come out here, we go for 2 to start. I thought that they'd probably be a little bit more prepared for our 2-point stuff. You see here, we've got all the options in the world running wide open.
Yeah.
Cam McHugh air mails one out of the back of the end zone. See right here, we've got 4 eligible receivers to this side of the field.
Yep.
They line up here. They've got 2, maybe 3 guys if they count 24 to cover these guys. We definitely like those numbers.
Yeah.
Whenever we line up like that, it's just me counting counting their numbers. Okay, can they cover this? Can they not cover this? If they can, we'll kick it. If not, we'll try to steal a point.
I'll give Cam a pass. He is a free safety playing quarterback,
That's
so
right.
he's going to miss one every now and then.
He gets it back and earns it back
That's right.
later on.
That's
in the
right.
game.
So 6-0 Stags here in the first quarter still. Cane Bay back with the football.
Here you see the defense doing a better job. I thought they did a really good job all night, of not giving up big plays against Cane Bay. It's kind of been our Achilles heel against them the last couple of years, where we've stopped them, then they hit a big play, and I think we just did a really good job of limiting that.
Yeah.
You see here, we're not doing the greatest job reading this wing here. Again, the play, just like the play before, right? When that wing comes up here, we want to run this alley and get here on this quarterback right now. However, the linebackers do a really good job. Landon does a great job defeating a block and showing up and making that play before it can go for big yards.
I've said that once or twice this season.
Here they are on 3rd and long, running triple still. I was a little surprised that the amount of success they've had throwing the ball on us in the past. They really didn't try to throw the ball very much.
Normally they're going to try to pop that A-back down the seam once or twice.
Right. 3rd and 11, we're kind of expecting it, so it's not really the greatest, call for them in that situation, but I felt like they would try some more stuff than they did. They end up giving the ball back to us. We got really good position here, field position. Come out here, run a little flood concept. They end up kind of getting lucky here with this linebacker blitzing right into our boot. Henry does a great job of getting rid of it to the tight end and getting positive yards. You see here to the top of the screen, we're going to have a go and a speed out. And if he's got more time, I think this is going to be a really, really big play here. This is just kind of one of those things. You see Malik Callan here kind of coming open in this window. But, you know, hey, good for,
get 7 or 8
them.
yards,
Good for them. Good defense, but even better offense having an answer.
That's right.
Right there. Just a really good job staying poised out of Henry and Jordan Livingston, the tight end here.
Jordan, another first-year player for you this year and really getting better each week as well.
Have a negative play here. Second down kind of puts us in a 3rd and 9. Come out here, we get into empty. We liked our matchups on the outside with them. They're playing a little man concept. It's like cover 1. They're spying the quarterback here. Right here, we've got a little high-low concept on this linebacker, and I think Jabriel Roddick here, 19, does a really good job of running a nice little sticking out and is able to make a good catch and good yards after the catch to move this ball down towards our end zone.
Yeah, Jabriel's one of those guys who's done well when given the opportunity this year. It's almost been like not enough footballs to go around. But when given the chance, he's done really well, like that play.
He's a good athlete for us, and we expect him to be a really, really good player and big-time contributor as he gets older.
Only a 10th grader.
A little zone read play right here. This is, executed basically almost to perfection here. We come off and we check it the right way. So we're running it to the appropriate look into the defense. Henry sees the end come down, 69, pulls it, replaces his feet. The linebacker runs over the top, and Caden Freeman here does a really good job of retracing his steps, making sure that guy stays outside and increasing the defense. Here you see a really good angle from it here from the end zone. Just a really good play from us.
So set you up 1st and goal.
Down here we get the 2nd and 4. Run a little split zone. JT almost pops the split zone right before this. We run the same play back to back. And he creases him so much the first time. This end gets kicked out right here by our tight end. The end does a better job of coming down and spilling this and making it bounce. JT does a great job of recognizing this, and they don't have an overhang player and just kind of ends up walking in the end zone.
And this is big. I mean, you want to do it every game. This is exactly what you needed to do. First 2 possessions, go down the field and score. Puts a lot of pressure on them with their offense and what they're trying to do as far as shorten the game.
I'm sorry, when you play a triple offense, they're trying to shorten the game, limit your possessions. You can go up 2-3 scores on them. That's huge for your team. Come out here, same formation. An extra point. We know they didn't line up the way we wanted to. We took the throwing option away from Cam on this one. Either way, we like the numbers. Good job out of our guys here. There's 17. Throwing a devastating block right there. Keller Wofford, he does enough to keep the defender where he needs to, and Cam does a good job of plunging ahead for 2 points.
Not sure I've ever seen a quarterback catch 2-point conversions and then block for them as well. He's having fun. All right, so Stags up 14-0. Like we said, it's just where we wanted to be. Here's where maybe one negative from the last few weeks for you?
Yeah, something that I've been a little bit disappointed in. We put some of our best guys on our special teams. We've got to do a better job of staying in our lanes. We run out of our lanes here and create this big old gap. You can really see it here from this shot. And we're just giving people, too good a field position.
Yep.
Right here. You see us run out of our lanes. We got to do a better job avoiding the butt side of these front wall defenders. And right there, you see we almost get there, but you're running from out of position. Great job out of Amir Nelson, hustling to save this from being a touchdown. But, that's something that you're not going to be able to do against really, really good opponents as we get deeper into the playoffs here.
But it's big to give your defense a chance. Don't give up on the play. Give your defense a chance to make a play, and they will.
Yeah. They come out here 2nd and 5. One thing that I kind of want to show here, they do a good job running this fold ISO. Something I talked about with the officials. You see this guy starting to come in motion, and this guy's moving before the play start.
Yeah. Can't have but one.
Yeah, exactly. And that doesn't give us any excuse, but there's a reason you're not allowed multiple guys moving at the same time.
Which that guy was moving towards the line of scrimmage too. That's right. That was just a no-no all the way around.
Good little scheme out of Cane Bay, though, kind of messing with some of our keys. They arced the tackle there and made our end, get a little bit wider, and then they handed it up inside.
Somewhat surprised they didn't take points here. They go for the 4th and 3, so.
Yeah, really, this is a moment in the game where, as a coach, I'm starting to feel like, okay, they don't necessarily believe that they can keep up with us.
That's right.
When you're chasing points early in the game, and honestly, I thought that 28 here, may have fought for these yards. We get a favorable spot. I'm surprised they didn't measure it, but they get a turnover on downs, and we come out, start with the ball. 1st down, we get a yard. 2nd and 9, we come and run a little power play. Really close to popping this. Their backside linebacker gets into the play here and stops this from being a really big play here.
Yep, another good run by LJ, just squirting through the hole.
3rd and 1. Not too many instances this year. We got 33 back there, and they're able to stop us. Really good job out of them, kind of facing their D-line, moving their D-line. We've got to do a better job on our offensive line, taking appropriate steps. A couple of us step with the wrong foot, going the wrong direction. We should all be zoning this way. You see their D-line spikes inside. We step a little too far out here with our tackle, and this backer right here, 24, who ended up being a really good player from them, kind of underestimated him from film. He shows up right here, and it really just kind of messes up this entire play. You see these guys all facing in here. It's really hard when you do that.
Yeah.
Just kind of emphasizes, the point that you've got to take the right steps and go where you're supposed to go. If we do that, we like our chances. If we don't, who knows? We're relying on them to mess it up at that point.
Yeah, 33 doesn't need much, but he's got to be able to get out of the backfield.
Come out here, 3rd and 7. This is a concept that they were running in the pass game that we had some trouble with. Our outside linebacker right here has his eyes in the backfield a little bit too much. You see him kind of running up here instead of matching this concept. He should go to wall number 2 and then get his eyes here and end up matching this. Lucky that their receiver, dropped the ball there.
Yeah, I think that's Amir that comes up and makes the hit.
We get the ball back. 1st down.
JT.
Positive run here, 1st down. I think this is a good job out of JT. Here's their safety showing up. Anytime their safety's making tackles, that's what you want. You can't account for that guy. That's the back's job, is to take care of him. We're getting 6-7 yards, on our runs. We're doing good.
That's right.
End up here in about 3rd and 6. We end up taking a timeout right before this. We didn't necessarily like the look that we had the play before. We come out here getting to something that we're really familiar with and something that we liked on them. Sprint out. We've run so much flood this year out of these condensed formations, that teams are you see how they've got their defense all kicked this way. They're all expecting it. We basically force man-to-man on the backside here, with these guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to flood everything here. We're going to make everything suggest that we're going that way. We're going to leak somebody back here. Basically the only way to stop this is this backside safety has to hang out here. But if he's doing that, then that's going to open up our flood concept back to the other side. We basically leave this drag right here on the linebacker. Linebacker's not equipped to run with that, and it ends up being a real big touchdown for us.
Yeah, the linebacker actually kind of read that, but he couldn't stick with it.
Yeah, I think he sees it really late. You see it run by him there. He's still got his eyes in the backfield. Really good job out of Malik Callan to Justin, making a good catch, and then, taking off and scoring.
Yep. He's really turned into a go-to receiver for you.
Come back out here. They still haven't adjusted to our 2-point stuff. I'm going to take it as long as you give it to me. There's Cam with the throw,
That's right.
making up for his errant pass earlier.
Hey, if your free safety can go 1 for 2 on throws, I'll take that.
That's right. Really good athlete, though. I mean, he can do so many things. Talented runner with the ball in his hands. That's why we got him there. And,
yep.
His arm is not the worst thing in the world.
Nope. So 22-0 now. And you're still in the second quarter. You got a chance to really probably put this away right here.
We end up onside kicking.
That's right.
Getting the ball, really good kick out of Rylan. Good job out of our special teams coordinator, kind of seeing where they're weak. We're able to kind of get a cheap one. Unfortunately, we're not able to capitalize on it. We come down, we run the same sort of concept that we ran before. Again, Jabril does a really good job on the stick. We just got to see him secure this catch. If he catches this, we think he'll just race right up the sideline here. That close to having another big explosive play.
Yep.
End up quick kicking and flipping the field, getting them down here inside the 10. So if there's any consolation to not moving the ball, at least we got them pinned down tight. Run a little power read. There's Jihad Sneed exploding on the sweep part right there. You see what a really talented athlete he is. When he sees it, he goes fast. And
yep. Seniors had a big year. So this puts them way behind the sticks on 3rd down.
Yep. There's the defense doing a good job swarming the dive. Anytime you play a triple team, you want to make them execute all 3 phases. You want to take the dive away, take the quarterback away, and really just come out and go through the whole phase.
So force them to punt, and now we've got the ball back at midfield again.
I'm out here, just throw a little hitch to John Cleveland. Really good job running a route and then getting good yards after catching it. They come out here now knowing that they're playing man-to-man on this outside. We knew that they were walking out this linebacker on our slot right here. So we said, you know what, hey, we're going to see if this guy can cover deep. So we put, one of our better receivers in there, John Cleveland. We throw a little fade to him. He doesn't end up catching this, I don't think, but he does a good job of coming back to the ball, beating the linebacker pretty bad, and ends up getting a pass interference. You can see it there.
Which is going to give you a first down now, right around the 21-yard line.
We come out here, the next play, we're trying to get them, cheating a little bit and expecting something different. Good initial pass pro up front. Turns into a scramble drill a little bit. We've got to do a better job of coming back to the ball in there. And just, we can't let that happen. If anything, if you're not going to catch it, you got to play defense. Henry gives a guy a shot.
The linebacker makes a heck of a play. I felt like maybe if he throws it a half second sooner, it probably works out.
Makes a good play. Kind of a dangerous throw, but at the end of the day, we got to do a better job of coming back to the ball and playing defense on it nonetheless.
Yeah. So still 22-0 as they don't even really seem too ambitious here on this drive as far as trying to, they end up running out the clock right there to end the first half. So you're up 22-0 there at the break, and felt like you could have scored some more points, but still got to feel like you're really in charge of the game at that point.
Yeah. Obviously we feel really good going into halftime. And the message at halftime is, hey, don't relax. We've been in a position like this before.
That's right.
We got to go out, execute, and do our job. The defense has to stay on their P's and Q's. Offensively, we got to continue to move the ball and put points on the board because you never know.
So big lead for the Stags at halftime. We'll take a quick break, come back with second half highlights of Berkeley versus Cane Bay.
The Blitz is on. Save thousands with Stokes Chevrolet Full Out Blitz. Stokes is blitzing prices during truck season and offering up to $10,500 off new Silverados with APR financing as low as 0%. Score big with EVs. Right now, lease a new Blazer or Equinox EV starting as low as $359 a month and 0 down. Go for the touchdown with 90-day payment deferral on new vehicles. It's the Full Out Blitz happening now. Only at Stokes Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
All right, welcome back into the Berkeley Football Coaches Show along with Coach Eric Lodge. I am Lane Walford. Stags with a big 22-0 lead at the half against Cane Bay. We'll go ahead and take a look at the second half highlights. We get the ball first, Coach, to start the second half.
Come out here, have a decent little run on first down, not quite what you want. We got about 3.5, 4 yards. Come here, I'll chalk this one up to field conditions. The guy doing our field, he needs to do a better job of making sure it's not as slippery of a surface here. We got a little ISO play with the quarterback. You see he sticks his foot in the ground, tries to go. We end up bouncing this outside and drawing a holding call. I think if we don't slip, we've got a really good play up inside here. Doing a good job on the O-line. This is the safety that's going to end up showing up here late. And I think if we hit this on time, you can see where this play is designed to go.
Yeah.
I think that we'll do a good job, but he slips. It gives that safety a chance to kind of come down here and get in the picture. And then we bounce it outside. I'm not sure where the holding is, but we get called for holdings more than any other team in America. So there we go, holding, bring it back 10 yards. Funny enough, we've played Cane Bay 2 years in a row. We've had the same head official. They've had 0 holding calls in 2 years. Just a fun fact.
Coincidence.
Yep. Come out here, throw a slant. Good job out of their corner. Even better catch out of John Cleveland, but versus this picture right here, versus a not so hot corner that could probably go for big yards. But
That's
Good
basketball.
offense, good defense.
That's the basketball coming out and John go up and get the ball.
Yep, that's what you want to see. Him go up there, catch it with his hands. We get down here, 2nd and 8. We run a little hitch and go. Their corner does a good job of collisioning the double move. You see him get his hands on right there. We get back to where we want to be. We just got to do a better job of going up and high pointing the ball. You can't really see it from any of these shots right here. You'll see here from the end zone shot. We get back on top, right where you want to be as a receiver. We go up and the ball hits us in the chest. We just got to do a better job of having our hands together and plucking this thing out of the air with our hands.
Yeah.
Their safety does a good job getting back in the play, and then as that ball bounces up, he's able to get an interception.
Yeah. So Cane Bay gets the ball there, about the 45, and they go to work here in the third quarter. Stags leading 22-0.
Run a little belly G play where they're pulling their front side guard. Got to do a better job of just being a little bit more physical here on the edge. And this front side linebacker here has got to get over the top and be there. We just got to move a little bit faster speed.
So that sets them up with a 3rd and short here. Looks like they just run the same play to the other side.
That's right. When they find something they like, they're gonna give you a heavy dose of it. So if you're not defending it, they're gonna give it to you all night long. Again, same sort of deal, right? We've got to do a better job on our edge of constricting the hole. We're coming out, we're doing our job, but we're just kind of running around the outside here, and it makes this hole where this kick out and makes it end up being a really big hole. Our Mike has to do a better job of defeating this load by the wing, and our safety really has to do a better job of getting involved here and running the alley. Just like you would play the quarterback on triple, right? The safety should be right there running the alley with the Sam constricting the hole. You see us show up there pretty late.
Yeah. So a couple of successful runs gives them a 1st down inside our 30.
Felt like the game was getting pretty chippy at this point. Pretty disappointed in the officials that they didn't do, a better job of controlling, some of the things. You see guys right here in headlocks, trying to get rid of defenders. Again, nobody holds but us. It's just one of those things that you gotta fight through and play hard regardless.
Yeah.
Right here, 2nd and 9. They run a little sprint out play, end up getting a 1st down. Again, right here, nobody holds but us right here, as you can see some wrestling going on. They end up getting a personal foul after this play. They end up getting a personal foul, backs them up. One thing that I was pretty unsure about, if you were at the game, you saw me kind of standing out here.
It was a dead ball personal foul.
I wouldn't say I was getting in an argument with the officials, but we were having a heated debate. My point was it was a dead ball personal foul.
Yeah.
They had gotten a 1st down. I wanted to know why it wasn't 1st and 25 and why it was 1st and 10. To me, after you get a 1st down, right, and then there's a personal foul, the chains should set, and then you should walk 15 yards off. To me, I don't understand why why those chains would move back with you after the play is over and you had gotten the first down.
Yeah.
To me, it's kind of like double jeopardy right there. Like, I mean, you shouldn't.
Yep.
Otherwise, the chains should stay where they are, and then you would mark the play back off, and it wouldn't be first down. You would either replay the down or whatnot. But
no real explanation.
no real explanation. But coach, that's the way it is. Get back in the box.
Okay.
You don't know the rules, we do. And I said yes, sir, and turned around and went back to the sideline.
Sometimes that's the answer you're going to get. So.
Yeah.
So here they are, just sticking with that belly run.
Yeah, and here we go. Good job out of the defense here. Better job on the dive. You can see some extracurriculars going on here, pushing us over the pile. You're going to see this for, at least until the next play too.
Yeah.
Come down here to try to throw it. They get our eyes in the backfield. We got to do a better job of reading our keys here. This is why I was just surprised they didn't do this more. We get good pressure on the quarterback. They draw pass interference from us because we're way out of phase. But you can see some flags starting to fly here. One of our guys and one of their linemen end up getting into it after the play here. Having a little shoving contest. Some punches are thrown. Guys are kicked out of the game, and it ends up affecting both teams.
Yep. And they got a pass interference on the play. So
they come down here. They run a little toss play down tight. We've just got to do a better job of crack replacing out of the safety spot here. You see the slot receiver load up on our linebacker. When that happens, you got to trigger right now and run the alley. You see that he doesn't get there. Ball gets outside. Corner, we got to do a better job fighting outside. But good offense out of them.
That's right. So it's going to give them a touchdown, gets them on the board. It's going to cut the lead to 22-7 here in the third quarter.
Okay, here, got like 3rd and 6. Call a little pass concept. This is a tough read because it's so tight here. We've got our tight end open. They end up calling us for a holding. Which it really ends up killing the drive, and we just punt. I think they decline it.
Yeah. So this is really a crucial point in the ball game here now. 2-score lead, and they've got the ball at their 35.
Much better job on the edge by our linebacker right there, setting a hard edge. There's the quarterback trying to pull it up inside of him. Overall, just a better job out of the defense. You see the backside pursuit get there. That's what you want to do. You want to string out this triple option, slow it down so it can't get running downhill. You see the defense really starting to stand up here and make some really good plays.
Yep. Yeah, they're able to pick up a first down, but when you can get them for a 6-7 yard loss on first down, that just sets not good for them and their offense.
Run a little jet sweep right here at Jameer. See what a really good job he does. He does a good job of shooting his hands to 56, shocking him, shedding it, getting off the block, and making a play on the jet.
Hard to run side to side. So now we're going to start the fourth quarter with them 2nd and long.
A really good play out of our corner up here, DJ Thompson. We end up covering this a little bit better the more and more they run it. You see we're kind of out of position again here by our outside linebacker.
But he recognizes it and breaks to it. that we're able to get the ball back. And we've got it at midfield now, still a 2-score game, really trying to salt this away.
Come out here, we put it in Three's hands. Anytime we're struggling, we try to put it in our best player's hands. Run a little outside zone. He does a good job of beating this linebacker who fires pretty quickly. Our running back here is kind of lead blocking. He's got to do a better job of looking inside out. We see this guy show up here and almost really make this play. We've got a guy out here. We've got a guy out here for the for that corner, so we can be a little bit slower on him. But really good job out of Henry, kind of making that guy miss and then turn that into a big play.
So it gets us on their side of the field.
There we go, run a little toss play. We thought that they gave us a pretty soft edge over here. So we toss it, get it out on the edge quick. I thought this was a pretty successful run. I liked our execution here. They end up calling a holding out here on our receiver. I don't know. I think if this is holding, you could call holding every single play. I don't really understand. I don't see where a holding is called there, but anytime you play for the Berkeley Stags, you're definitely more susceptible to that.
So backs us up. We got a 2nd and long here.
I'm out here, run a little RPO. We're reading this inside linebacker. He doesn't go out there. Good execution. Good job out of Henry seeing this, recognizing what it is, getting the ball on the edge. You see right there out of Elijah Mitchell, number 4, hey, I put my hands up. If you just want me to be a walk-in, practice dummy, then I'll do that. But good job out of him, kind of understanding the rules, of engagement here with the referees and getting his hands up quick.
Yeah, Malik with another catch here and run.
Get the ball down inside the red zone here. A little fake toss, trying to get their defense after we had tossed the ball, flowing out there really quick. I think we got them set up here pretty good. That safety kind of shows up right there. That's the unblocked guy. Good positive run out of us, but really close to being a big play.
I tell mine all the time, this is the new thing to have these T-shirts that hang lower than your jersey. If that's not happening here, 3 probably walks into the end zone because he grabs a hold of that T-shirt and that's all he's got right there.
Close right there. He's hanging on for dear life. Good job out of number 9.
That's right. But now 33 is in the game and really nobody wants to get in front of that one.
Yep. Well, there's the safety, unblocked again. You can't account for those guys in your blocking schemes. But, hey, if it's you and 33 on the train tracks, we like 33.
Yeah. And really, ball game, didn't feel like we were in trouble, but still only a 2-score game in the 4th quarter, and 33 makes a couple of plays for you that really puts this ball game away. This is the first one.
Yeah, they did a great job of limiting our possessions. We only had the ball once in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah.
And then at this point, this is our 3rd time touching it in the 2nd half.
Yeah.
So the feeling is like, oh man, the offense isn't doing much. Well,
Which they're hoping you get frustrated and throw deep balls and get out of your offense.
Right. Yep. So
it's 28-7 at this point.
Here they are trying to run a little counter. I think this is a great job out of the defense. Just everybody doing their job, reading their keys, coming back with plays. Just a really good job, good swarm of the football.
Yeah, you made a comment earlier they didn't throw it as much this year as they had in years past. I didn't feel like they ran the counter as much this year either as they did in years past.
Those are things that we definitely emphasized and we're ready for coming into the game. I think you can kind of tell here from
everybody staying home,
just guys staying where they need to be.
Yep.
But
here's where 33 not this one yet.
Not quite. They end up getting a 1st down. Ended up putting a pretty decent little drive together here. You know, and then there's Jameer on the triple showing up. I mean, this guy just plays relentless. I don't know if I've seen anything like it, but
I mean, he's got a chance to just, you know, for lack of a better term, kill the quarterback. But instead, he reads the play and slaps the ball away on the pitch, and then pushes the quarterback out of the way and makes
just
the
pick
play.
the ball up, score, you know, and just do it all.
It has been an unreal season for him.
Yeah. You know, it's one of those, and honestly, this is one of those plays, like, he really should be coming down and tackling the dive here.
His instincts take over.
It's a good job that he made the play that he made. Otherwise, he'd probably be getting yelled at on the sideline. But you know, when you just play relentless and you never give up, sometimes when you're out of position, your energy and effort, you know, really just set you up and make it right. So.
And you can see their body language. They can't believe it.
Yeah,
their body language.
You can't replace energy and effort.
Yep. So that puts us up 35-7, and you really feel like it's just, you know, we're just running away. We're just running the clock out at this point.
Yep. They're running the toss. Is good job out of our linebacker Avery Everett, seeing this, defeating this block here by their tight end, who's wearing 57. You know, just really good job out of him. They are trying to set a little screenplay up. Really good job out of Chamberlain Thompson here at safety, recognizing this. You see their quarterback. You know, he fakes their like little toss. Tries to come back. Sees us standing right there. It kind of makes him eat the ball. And then Ja'Kai Chapman right there. You know, he getting there with cruel intentions.
Yeah.
They end up calling him for a helmet to helmet, which I don't really understand. He's not a defenseless receiver. He doesn't hit him with the crown of his helmet. It's kind of face mask to face mask. You know, sometimes though, when you're just really, really physical and you hit guys really hard.
Quarterback was shaken up. I hope he's okay. He was able to get up and walk off. It was not a soft hit by any means. But yeah, I'm not sure the flag was totally warranted, but thankfully it didn't play
they end up punting us. We're in a little punt safe. Our safety back there, we got to do a better job of either catching this in the air or just getting completely away from it. I'd like to see us catch the ball in the air and save us some yards. But muff the punt, give it back to them. Give them another final shot here with, you know,
just a minute
and 13 left to try to get on the board. You know, there's a defense just kind of recharging, put the ball down, we're going to play football, get back out there. I was just disappointed that we didn't get a chance to get some of our offensive guys in the game. They actually had the ball the last, I think, 6.5, 7 minutes of the game. You know, we had plans to get guys in there when it was 22 to 7, 28 to 7.
Which that was a fourth down play on the hit, you know, there. So
that's right.
You know, they were obviously trying to salt it away, and that's what they were able to eventually do. Yeah,
you know, we gave them some chances to extend their drives there with the penalty, and then the muffed punt. You know, but all in all, a good effort out of Berkeley.
So Stags win 35-7. I'm not really sure why I'm asking this question, but player of the game?
To me, it's got to be Jameer Hayward. But one guy that I really want to give some credit to, Malik Callan, I think, has done a really good job at receiver stepping up. You saw the route and the catch and the run after catch earlier, which ended up being a really big play for us, kind of putting that game really out of reach. You know, so that's a guy that, you know, Jameer is just all over the place again, but Malik Callan is a guy that I really want to highlight here as you know, having a great game.
Yeah, Malik caught several touchdowns for you now. That was a big play, obviously. I think the second longest touchdown of the year. I think that went for 83 yards the other night. back to Jameer. He might not win Region Player of the Year. I think there's really only one other guy you could even consider, which is Malik McGowan from Stratford. They're going to win the region, so he may get the nod over Jameer, but still not sure I've ever seen a season like Jameer has had this year where he has affected the game so much offensively, defensively, and on special teams. It's just been one heck of a year so far.
Yeah, I mean, obviously really special, as a defender, just always around the ball, basically makes it almost impossible for offense to happen if they go his way. And then, him getting fumble recoveries, causing fumbles, then what he's doing on offense, coming in, being the short yardage guy, and really having explosive runs even in that role.
Yep.
And then on special teams, you line up. Yeah. You're not safe in your punt,
your field goal,
your field goal kicking, your our kickoff return. He's had some really good returns.
Yeah.
When they've kicked it to him. Jameer Hayward. Really just in all three phases of the game has turned out to be a really, really special player.
You certainly don't see many guys go two ways, much less three ways in 5A football, so he's in obviously tremendous shape to be able to do that. You're able to finish the season 8-2, 4-1 in the region. Certainly a half of football we'd like to have back, but it is what it is. You end up with the number 2 seed in the lower state here in the playoffs and get a bye this week.
Yep, got a bye. We really like our place in the playoffs here. Oddly enough, the way the teams get seeded out, our path to lower state is probably a little bit easier finishing second in the region, where if we would have finished first, we'd probably end up playing White Knoll in the third round and then have to go
last year. Yep.
Have Irmo in lower state. Whereas this year, those guys are up, with each other, and we're down in another part of the bracket. So, if there's any consolation prize to the way it shook out and us finishing in second, that's probably it. But, our biggest opponent is going to be the Berkeley Stags.
Yeah.
So in this bye week, we're going to really try to just focus inward, focus on ourselves, clean things up, and then get ready for our second round opponent, and hopefully gear up for a deep run here towards the state championship.
Yeah, that opponent would be next Friday, the 14th, and it'll either be St. James, a team we played earlier this year, or Westwood, a team we played last year in the playoffs. So it won't be somebody you're not familiar with a little bit.
Yeah, and both teams are capable of playing really well. We've got film where those guys have played really tough. Mm-hmm. Westwood and St. James. St. James came to Mount Pleasant earlier this year and beat Lucy Beckham.
And Wanda.
And Wanda. They did that back-to-back weeks. Westwood has really good wins on their resume this season. So it won't be a game that we can just, absolutely sleepwalk through. We're going to have to come out and give our best effort and be locked in. But I'm confident in our team that we're going to come out and put our best effort forward.
So the Stags off this week, the 7th, but we'll be at home next Friday, the 14th, against the Westwood St. James winner. So we'll be off next week, watch this one twice, and then we'll be back the following week, hopefully with a second round dub for the Stags in the lower state playoffs. For Coach Eric Lodge, I am Lane Walford. Thank you for tuning in to the Berkeley Football Coaches Show.
Go Stags.